Our 1990 U.S. Open champion, Pete Sampras. The 1993 U.S. Open champion, Pete Sampras. The 1995 U.S. Open champion, Pete Sampras. The 1996 U.S. Open champion for the fourth time, Pete Sampras.
Sometimes greatness exceeds the grandest words, but words become legacy when etched on a champion's cup. In an age that values sizzle over substance, without fanfare, Pete Sampras has done one thing better than anyone: win the majors. How many have stood across this netted twine, facing what must seem the impossible, to beat Sampras? Today, a young Russian, Marat Safin, conjures the courage to challenge the game's best. American Pete Sampras, focused and in the final, again playing for greatness at the United States Open. Sunday in New York, the Big Apple, Broadway, big time, and that's what tennis fans from around the world have come to see today. Big time action at Arthur Ashe Stadium on the grounds of the National Tennis Center. The U.S. Open Champions Board chronicles the 90s, the Pete Sampras era, Sampras winning 4 Open titles. And today a chance to join Jimmy Connors as the only men in the Open era to hoist this Grand Slam trophy in victory 5 times. Today, the men's final of the United States Open. The final major of the 2000 season as number 4 seed Pete Sampras engages the number 6 20-year-old Marat Safin from Moscow. And down the champions corridor comes Pete Sampras, a man from his very early years has patterned himself after the great champions, Rod Laver being the first. He wanted his name etched in history. He's accomplished that, 13 Grand Slam titles, and the crowd, 23,000, acknowledges Sampras and Marat Safin. On a hazy 80-degree day in New York, we're ready for the men's final to climax this great championship. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg. We welcome you to New York. In football terms, on an NFL football Sunday, this town cheers for the Giants and Jets, and we've got a giant in that spirit, Pete Sampras, and we have a young man from Moscow that wants to join tennis's jet set. It's a situation that Sampras can well appreciate. 10 years ago, he was the youngster knocking on the door, and he finally pushed it through, and now has become one of the great players in the history of this sport. How young he seemed to be 20 years ago. Well, John McEnroe and Mary Carrillo join us here for this final event of this 2000 season. John, happy anniversary, first of all. 20 years ago, you went 5 and beat Connors in the semis and Borg 5 in the finals to win this championship.
You know, you always have been good to me, Dick. I appreciate that. It's nice to bring that up.
What's it mean? What's this all mean to these two men?
Oh, this is it. I mean, Pete Sampras is going to be the best player in the world if he wins this match for the year, in my opinion, no question about it. But what it means for Pete more specifically is, you know, how is he going to hold up? This is what I thought about. You know, how am I going to come back Saturday after playing a long, tough match? His wasn't quite as tough as the 5-setter I played, but it was tough enough. How is he going to rebound the next day against a stronger, fitter opponent? What I wanted to prove, because I was considered someone who may not have been the fittest player in the world, that you can use something upstairs called the mind to overcome those hurdles. And no one in the history of the game, in my opinion, has done it better than Pete Sampras has the last 10 years.
Well, is the torch about to be passed, however? Is it Marat Safin's time, just as it was for Pete 10 years ago?
Oh, Marat Safin has had a remarkable season, Dick. I mean, he improves on the changeovers, it seems like. This guy is really coming on fast. But he reminds me a little bit on this day of what Venus Williams was like 3 years ago when she played in her first Grand Slam final against Martina Hingis, and she got outplayed, she got outpoised, she wasn't quite ready to make that step. Pete Sampras, though, will have to be very, very alert. I mean, this kid is very, very good. Pete knows that. He serves big, he returns big. He can do it all. I think these are the two best athletes on the men's tour. But I don't think Pete might be a little shy, but he's not at all retiring. He's had a great year. He considers any season where he can win more than one major. I mean, one major is a great year. He's going for his second, and he's done it a bunch of times. I mean, this is not an easy thing for him to do, especially the Wimby U.S. Open double. And he's trying to do that for the third time, try to win 2 majors a year for the 5th time. And I got a feeling this guy's ready to do it. He has not lost a Grand Slam final in 5 years. He's won 8 straight, and believe me, he knows that and thinks that he can win 9.
In Grand Slam final, Sampras measuring his high talent is 13-2. Now let's talk about the 20-year-old Safin. He has big shots and he has a big temper. Will he be able to control both today?
I like both of that, but he's got a few things in addition to that. He's an engaging personality. He's the type of player the male tennis tour should promote and market better. And as what you saw in his previous match against Todd Martin, when things get tight, he's got more variety to his game than you may think. And we all know about the power, but this guy is one of the best and quickest athletes on the men's tennis tour at 6'4". He covers a lot of ground, and here, what he does is you watch that shot, as he's learned specifically, and particularly the last 6 months or so of his tennis career, is he doesn't have to put holes in the court, put holes in his opponent. Then he can mix it up, take something off it, God forbid, mix up the angles, play longer points, and he's, as Mary said, he's advancing literally by the week. I mean, I firmly believe the man you saw yesterday, Hewitt or Safin, is going to be the #1 player in the world in the next year.
All right, Mary, what's the key to winning?
Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
No big deal.
The key to winning is, again, I think quality of second serve is going to play a very big role in this. Both these guys can boom their first serves. Both, I think, will be looking to attack that second serve and make something happen. This could be decided by a couple of tie breaks. I mean, that's how close it could be if Safin has really come to play.
Well, Sampras has the advantage there. He's been broken only 4 times in the entire championship. Safin's serve has been broken 17 times. We're ready for the men's final in New York.
CBS Sports coverage of the United States Tennis Championships is sponsored by Heineken, a proud sponsor of the U.S. Open. Heineken, it's all about the beer.
Thank you, Jim Nance. We're about ready for the first serve. Pete Sampras and Marat Safin. Let's get some information from behind the scene. To the coach's box we go, and Patrick McEnroe.
Thanks, Dick. I'm here with Alexander Volkov here with Marat Safin. And how is he feeling today coming into his first Grand Slam final?
It's difficult to say because it's the first one, and I never saw him in such a situation because not every day he's playing final in the Grand Slam. I think only we're talking about he wants to join tonight his girlfriend Silvia in Valencia. He wants to catch last flight to London and then take a flight to Valencia from London. That's all we was talking about. And then talk a little bit about the match because he beat him in Toronto, and we thought if you're going to stick same plan, then it's going to be chances to beat him. Because Pete is a big competitor and it's difficult going to be beat him on 5 sets match, but we will see.
Okay, Alexander, thanks. Let's send it over to Pam Chopper with Paul Annacone.
Thanks, Patrick. Paul Annacone, you've watched Pete Sampras play so many of these major finals. What's his mood and what are the tactics for the day?
I think his mood is good. You know, obviously in a final you're going to be a little bit anxious, but he's been here a number of times, so I think he's ready to go, and he just needs to make sure that he serves well and put some pressure on Marat's second serve. I think those are going to be keys. Try to control the tempo, the points from the baseline, and see if he can be the one that's dictating the play.
Thanks, Paul. Let's go back upstairs to Dick Enberg.
All right, thank you, Pam. Pete Sampras, almost impossible to break, as we mentioned, in this championship. And the only times he's lost in a Grand Slam final, 92 here to Edberg and 95 to Agassi in Australia, he's been broken more than 2 times. So we'll kind of...
He's got to worry a little bit, Dick. That groin, was that tighten up on him? And it's also a hot, humid day in New York. It's as hot as it's been in a week. We look at his incredible career at 13 Grand Slams, excellent record this year. Tons of money. His road to the finals, pretty easy, except for that Richard Krajicek match where he saved 4 set points in that breaker. Leighton Hewitt provided some resistance as well.
Safin elected to receive to open the match, so here's Sampras. And predictably opens with an announcement.
A lot of energy in this crowd. They're ready to go. The match has been held up about a half hour longer than they expected, so not only are the players ready to see some tennis, the fans are eager as well.
Ace and then a service winner.
I hope Safin's not thinking about missing that flight after. That's all he can talk about. He goes to 5 sets. I don't know what his chances are. It's funny, I saw Tony Trapert, who's doing the simulcast for us, and he said he saw Pete right before they went on, and he pointed to the body. Don't forget the body serve, because with Safin take those big swings on the forehand in particular, it could really handcuff him. That's what he did that point. As if you need to tell Sampras how to serve.
4 first serves for Sampras, and his opponent unable to get a ball in play. Murat Safin is just 20 years of age from Moscow. He's 6'4". He would be, well, Stan Smith was 6'4" when he won the championship here in 1971. He would become, with Smith, the tallest champion of the U.S. Open, and he has had an excellent summer on hard courts. He's 18-2. He's won 3 titles, Barcelona and Mallorca on clay, and Toronto, as his coach Volkov mentioned. And he starts with an ace.
Where he beat Sampras, by the way, there in a 3-set struggle.
Safin's only losses this summer at Cincinnati in the 3rd round to Santoro, and the finals of Indianapolis to Curtin.
There's no question he's incredibly tight out there, and he just wants to get a few games under his belt. His feet had a tough time moving on that forehand. Sampras has a tendency to get that elbow too far out in front of him there. He's so lethal on the forehand side. The speed of this court, it takes him a little while to time these backhand strokes.
A miss there, but I love Safin's backhand, especially the one down the line. It's a beautiful 2-handed shot.
And most people feel, I'm sure you agree, Mary, his backhand better than his forehand.
He holds 1-all.
Certainly more consistent. Marat's rode a far tougher one, a 5-setter with Gianluca, the oldest man. Even 4 sets of first round, a breaker in the 5th against Grosjean, where they stopped in the 5th set breaker and had a 3-hour rain delay or something. Ferrero was surprisingly tame. Kiefer had his hands full there, and Todd Martin in the semis. Safin has one of those little devices that try to keep your strings to last a little bit longer. Stringalings, they used to be called back in our day, way back when. Don't see that too often. Rarely will you see Sampras that far or that close to the net and miss a ball that for him would be considered easy. Pete is also a human being, a little jumpy out there, looking to settle down. He knows how dangerous Safin is. And to me, Mary, certainly at 29, and physically there are question marks about Pete, especially the last couple of years, and even some people wondering how fit he really is because he's so talented. Can he rebound? And it's going to be tough for him to rebound. Played the semis yesterday and the finals today against 2 young guys.
And the trainer applied a massage and heat on that upper left thigh yesterday. Boy, some heat from Safin, but Sampras blocks it back for a winner.
15.
This was yesterday, and Doug Spreen, the ATP trainer, massaging what they called a groin tightness, not a pull. Whoa! Major league foul ball.
Pete really made a point of trying to marginalize the effects of that groin injury. I mean, he's basically saying he's fine.
Down the center, 130 miles an hour. That's just 3 miles an hour less than his biggest serve of the 2 weeks.
That's absolutely unreturnable. It's just awesome shot on the line with that amount of heat. Whew. Way too good there.
Oh, man.
What a bounce. 2-1 opening set. Beautiful aerial view down into 23,000 seat Arthur Ashe Stadium. Marat Safin serving 1-2 opening set. And we welcome those of you who have just seen the Ravens defeat Jacksonville 39-36. So Baltimore starts 2-0. We're at the United States Open Men's Final Championship. On serve 1-2. Marat Safin, the 20-year-old Russian, and 4-time champion Pete Sampras with a beautiful lob. But can't follow it up.
You know what I'm most glad about? He didn't try to go between the legs. It's becoming an epidemic out there on the men's tour, but instead he plays some excellent defense and knows that Sampras is going to come in on it, gets it low enough, and Sampras misses a makeable volley. And here comes Safin with the ace.
His second. No break points as yet. Big 128.
40-15. Let's listen.
Game to Safin, 2-all. Aerial coverage of the 2000 U.S. Open Tennis Championships provided by the WinStar Airship, Broadband One, and Office.com, a service from WinStar. There's the Arthur Ashe commemorative garden, 14-foot statue. Yeah, tossing almost as if the blimp becomes the ball in that picture. The ball must look about that size the way these two men are hammering their serves.
These two players have met twice. Pete gave him a lesson here a couple years ago, but Safin learns well. Great match. Tiebreaker in the third. For all you Grand Slam tournament directors, tiebreakers, end of matches. Great ending.
It was a remarkable ending. It was the last tiebreak Sampras lost. He's 7-0 in tiebreaks at this U.S. Open.
Oh, that's a good return.
51.
Sampras not getting as far in. It's coming back in a hurry. He'd like to be inside the service line there. Safin's not only quick feet, powerful man, but he's got quick hands to flick that ball back in a hurry.
I guessed right.
Always fun to watch those type of points. Sampras took a little something off the serve, which allowed him to get just a little bit closer. See, that's sometimes where you just help yourself, and Safin just, that's too good. I hit a great shot, but you one-upped me.
Slices it down the tee. Number 3.
40-15. Sampras leads 3-2.
For the U.S. Open Championship. Safin serving, 15 love. The stars are out. Woody Allen, he played tennis in one of his movies, didn't he, Mary?
Annie Hall, not really a power player.
A thinker.
Left versus
Christy Brinkley. Of course, yesterday, the President of the United States, Bill Clinton, was here and met both Safin and Sampras. Murat Safin was as excited as Sampras. He asked the President for his autograph. He autographed one of the programs.
Nice, neat racket work from Pete Sampras. Decides to stay home right where he was and took the heat from Safin. Watch this, he doesn't move. Nicely done. And now we'll see if he can do something with the second serve. That's what Coach Anacone said he wanted to do. See him step in.
125-mile-an-hour second serve. There's Paul Anacone, the coach of Sampras. Very good partnership, these two. Call is out. It appeared to skid off the line.
I think that was a little wide there, Dick. We'll have to take a look on the replay.
Here's the Acuvue Macam. The way it skidded, one would have thought.
That's true. I don't know. It was very close, though.
Well, the game to Safin, they're 3-all. In the chair today is Steve Ulrich from Tampa, Florida. It's quite a day. His wife, Ann Lasser Ulrich, was the chair umpire for the women's doubles earlier. There's the movement.
Exactly right. It's what we talked about already. First, it's the movement. Second, when Mary said that lovely backhand up the line. He can do that all day. They want to get Safin on the run on the backhand side, but he showed him something there. That's exactly what Paul told me they wanted to do in the locker room. That's a lot tougher than it looks, believe me.
By the way, the women's doubles won by Ai Sugiyama and Julia Lar-Decogy.
Always felt that was the toughest shot in tennis. With that one hand, a little easy when you have a little more power with the two hand. He holds it to last instant, pulls it away for a winner.
15-30.
Just keep those returns nice and low. Make those passing shots a whole lot easier to come up with.
3-all, 15-30. A slight opportunity for the young Russian.
Boy, he is on those serves. And And Sampras tried to spin the second to the last one in 108 and had to volley up. And that one was 122, and he still was forced to hit a first volley that was defensive in nature.
2 break points for Safin to take the lead.
You see how strong he is? From way back behind the baseline, just powered it away.
And this is where Sampras, a la Boris Becker for so many years, in a hole 15-40, uses that big serve to get quick points. Can he do it again? Or does Safin take the lead? Safin leads Pete Sampras 4-3 opening set. 5th time in the entire championships Pete Sampras broken, and Marat Safin has the lead 4-3.
When Pete got broken here, this ball went by him so fast that he'd been working a bit at Mary on his acting lessons with his girlfriend. He looked up. Was that a let? Had to be a let.
Forehand winner. 15 all.
15 all.
You see the difference so far with Safin and, say, Leighton Hewitt. He can muster up more energy with those passes and just overpower Pete. That's why when you look at a Safin, a lot of people are starting to say this guy is quite possibly going to be #1 player in the world. Incredible talent. Safin watched any of the match with Hewitt yesterday. He better watch out for that particular shot, because Sampras was lethal as he was there with the forehand.
In the backhand, he's more content to chip, slice it back like that.
The pace on that backhand side. This is one of the first times he's tried to muster up some pace, and he completely mishit it. He's nowhere near as confident. Chip charge one thing, all-out bombs another.
Point from 5-3, Marat Safin.
You wonder if Pete's a little sluggish, choosing to stay back on that big forehand. If the legs aren't totally warmed up yet, he still won the point.
First deuce against Safin. And he quickly slices his 5th ace.
Safin just looks so confident in his movement. He's almost flat-footed at times. There's no...
He can hold his ground, can he? Not hard to push him off the court, and that landed on the line.
He comes up.
That's a great volley.
Marat Safin leads 5-3. Monday on CBS begins with an all-new Big Brother, followed by King of Queens, starring Kevin James and Jerry Stiller. Then it's Monday's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond, plus Ted Danson as Becker, and then Family Law. It's all tomorrow night on CBS. Now Sampras serves to stay in the opening set.
Oh,
it's out, but what an effort.
He was literally moving that racket like a wand, trying to fake Sampras out. Crowd loves it. Shows you how fast this big man is.
He's got a dramatic mind, too. It's nice.
This would be huge for Safin if he can get this first set under his belt. Sampras, it's an excellent, excellent first set. Be down is almost amazing. I'll tell you something, if Safin can volley the way he did to win that 4-3 game, Dick, he's going to be the best player in the world. He's come a long way in a short period of time. Far more confident up there.
Trying to become the first Russian to win this United States Open.
Gets himself in position seemingly so easily. Makes these tough passes look like they're routine.
Todd Martin said that after he lost to Safin in straight sets in yesterday's semi. He said, I almost felt like he was laughing at me.
Sampras holds 5-4 opening set. We'll be back after this word from your local station. Of all those injuries, 1999 fourth one down U.S. Open, herniated disc. That one scared Sampras seriously. He did not play. An injury occurred 4 days before the opening.
He was devastated when he had to come to the press conference last year to announce that he had withdrawn from the U.S. Open. And he said, hopefully one day I'll understand why it happened to me.
And there's a follow-up on that. He has found out why it happened. 15 all. That's when he met his current fiancée, Bridget Wilson. Good reason, perhaps, why he was sidelined. And there's Bridget cheering on her man. Seriously considering the fate of this first set.
Good reason to be sidelined.
Pete seems to think so. Very happy. Here we are at 5-4 Safin. 3 points from the opening set. 15 all.
I'd like to see him stick that elbow closer to his body, which allows you to control your shots more easily. And every now and then, as great as Pete is, he has a tendency to stick that elbow out, which you then lose control of your shots, as he did there.
40-15, 2 set points from Marat Safin. Moscow shows poise and power and has the opening set 6-4.
That was a couple of games ago. What's going on with Pete right now?
Well, he had a callus that during his match yesterday got a little sore, and we treated it and took care of it after the match. Put a pad on it for practice in the match, and he said it's feeling fine right now. He just wears such tight shoes that he doesn't like anything extra in there. So we took the pad off and put a little medicine on there to make sure the area stays a little numb and pain-free, and we'll see how it goes.
How's the left leg?
Left leg was better this morning than it was yesterday. A little tight still, but no signs of any pull or strain, and I think it's just a fatigue thing that he should be able to work through, and we'll just keep an eye on him as the match goes.
Thanks, Doug. Dick?
All right, Pam, thanks for that report. So Sampras just bothered by the tightness of that bandage for the callus. 30-love opening this second set. Safin has been unbelievable after winning the first set of a Grand Slam match. In Grand Slam action, 20-0. He's a front runner. Tough when he loses the first set. He's only 3-9. For you Sampras fans, there's hope as well. He's 8-2 in the U.S. Open after losing the first set. Pete's able to rally. We've seen that. Saw that at Wimbledon. We saw it against Krajicek earlier in this championship. His 5th ace.
First game, second set.
Not a single break point against his serve in that opening set.
You know Sampras is going to get more aggressive. And if he's a little tight with that groin and he's feeling a twinge on that foot, he's going to try to shorten these points and force Safin to come up with shots, which he couldn't do there. I suspect you'll see him charge here as well.
Oh, he hooked that one right in. What action on that ball.
Well, he knows there's going to be something to go by him. He's just going to have to accept that. Keep the pressure on.
But that forehand down the line must have curved 8 feet.
That's one of the most enjoyable shots in tennis to watch, Dick, where it looks like it's going out and hooks well in, and Safin knew exactly where it was going.
Only 9 points lost on his serve.
That's in. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. How fast is this guy? I mean, not only to get there, but to flick that wrist and come up with that.
Point of the match at 40-15.
Oh, Wilbur.
The game isn't that easy. It cannot be that easy. 1-all.
He's got this on top of everything else.
It'll be very interesting to see how Pete Sampras reacts to being toyed with in that last game.
Now we saw a variety. He hooked the forehand in from outside in. He outruns that drop shot and then delivers one of his own. Pretty good.
You didn't like my Mr. Ed little throw there?
Pop on that volley.
He better do that.
Exactly right. He knows he's got to do this.
And he's got to expect that a lot of his big serves are going to come back.
Safin, coached by his mother growing up from 6 to 13, Rausa. She still coaches tennis, and his dad, Mikhail, is a director of a small tennis club in Moscow. Tennis has been his life, his family's life. He understands very deeply the tradition of the game.
Sampras not able to get his feet out of the way quickly enough to put away that volley, but still up comfortably here at 40-15 early in the second set. It's Safin who has won the first set.
Sampras holds on serve in the second set. Murat Safin enjoying the experience, the U.S. Open. Welcome back to the USTA National Tennis Center. That's Louis Armstrong Stadium, the second court, and the giant television screen where fans can watch the action here at Arthur Ashe Stadium while enjoying a bite and a sip. Murat Safin at 1-2, second set. The great leaping ability of Sampras on display.
He is also aware, addicted. The crowd loves this. I mean, I love watching it. Everyone else here does as well. So he gets a big boost of adrenaline when he pulls that one off. It's the only new shot that's been invented in the 90s. Scissor kick overhead, and here's Sampras with a chance at love 30.
And the crowd here at Arthur Ashe Stadium sensing, is this the moment for Sampras to strike? Love 30. Big serve wide. 15-30. And the ace. So that's Sampras-like, digging quickly out of love 30 with two big serves. A service winner and his sixth ace.
Sampras hasn't seen that in this tournament. The ability of a player to take a big forehand like he just hit here. He's coming in behind it, but able to get it down low to him and force him to come up with a big volley. Safin's covering a lot of ground and covering it quickly.
Pretty good stuff on a fault for him to deliver the ball back.
Best backhand he's hit today.
First winner of the day off the backhand side.
He's been waiting a while for this. Finally, he's got Safin far enough off the court. If he hits a good solid backhand like he did there, he'll get the winner.
And again, that slice serve to the deuce court, effective for Safin. Point for 2-all. He's up a set. And 29-mile serve. As we will remind you that our aerial coverage of the 2000 U.S. Open Tennis Championships provided by WinStar Airship Broadband One and Office.com. A service from WinStar. Helen Hunt, Kevin Spacey, well into this match. Sampras serving at 2-all, second set.
What's also great about this matchup as we look at Jim Courier, recently retired.
Received a nice honor award. They gave him a painting, a photograph before the matches today. Big round of applause from the crowd, appreciating a man who could play it tough this game. He played you hard.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. And what's nice here when you watch, it's similar in a sense to when you watch Sampras and Agassi. I mean, you got the serve volleyer, and then you got a guy who's content to stay back and pound away from the baseline. So the matchup is good. With Andre falling away in the second round, unfortunately. We all wish him well, by the way. Safin coming to the surface. Hitting the big time.
Number 6 for Sampras. Winner is Sampras +4. And of course, as always, dominating at the net, but down a set.
I would like to see Safin, I mean, especially considering his height and his serve. He should be able to volley a lot more in the future. Oh, missed that one, ran out of court.
He didn't have to go far to set it.
STA National Tennis Center is Marat Safin.
Oh, yeah.
Serves up an ace at 2-3 in the second set.
Ace number 7.
There's the statue by Eric Fischel in the Ash Commemorative Garden. I love the quote they use there: from what we get, we can make a living. What we give, however, makes a life. Arthur Ashe is one of the great inspirations of this game.
Eric wanted to give that statue a timeless quality, and I think it is Rodin-like. Don't you think, Dick? You ever been in the Rodin gardens in Paris? Isn't that great?
One of the great museums, and as a lot of folks are confused, they think it should look like Arthur and it should have clothes on, but that isn't the idea. It's symbolic of the spirit of Arthur Ashe.
And men's and women's. Yeah, it's not just supposed to be a man.
Sampras handcuffed there for 40 love. Former President Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind enjoying the action. Of course, he used that tennis court at the White House. Was perhaps more involved with tennis than any of our presidents. And another ace from Marat Safin. A very quick game. 3-all. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, is the Texas way, George Bush's way, the best way to test school children before promoting them to the next grade? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes.
Pete Sampras has never won inside this stadium, never won a championship. The last time he won the Open was Louis Armstrong Stadium in '96.
The entire field entering this championship, 14 Grand Slam titles, and Pete trying to match the field.
But in the last couple of years, he's been disappointed at the Open. In '97, he lost in the 4th round to Peter Korda, 7-6 in the 5th. In '98, he lost in the semis to the champion, Patrick Rafter. Then, of course, last year, didn't even get to play.
That sort of puts it in perspective, the level he's at, though.
First double fault.
The stratosphere.
And so far, his young opponent, who shows some moments, high moments or low moments of emotion, very much together.
Oh, he was asked about why he's so much more in control this week, and he says he's tired. Look at that. Not tired enough. Not tired enough for Pete's sake.
Looked okay there.
He said, I don't have any power even to throw the racket. He's only thrown one racket at this Open and broken it. But look how he has, again, he had to yank it that one a little bit.
But this is where he shows you that he's got more than the power. I mean, that was an exquisite feel there.
The point before was Safin's 7th successful pass, 30-all.
Sampras is utilizing that serve into the body. Try to handcuff Marat like he did there.
First serve percentage, Pete's got to be pleased with that.
Oh, boy. He held it. Sampras had to lean to the cross court. That's where it had just come, and then he flipped it up the line.
I'm a great fan, John, of one-handed backhands. It's my favorite shot, but a two-handed guy gets to do this. Gets to hold it a fraction of a moment longer, and then snap it down the line or cross court or flip over a lob. A great advantage to a two-handed game.
Now a second serve on break point against Sampras, and a chance for Safin to take the lead in this second set. He's got it. He broke Sampras in the 7th game of the first set. He's broken him in the 7th again here in the second.
Good, knowledgeable fans here in the Big Apple.
Sampras, when he's tried to roll over that backhand, just has not been able to get it in the court.
There's no comparisons with backhand so far this match. Safin's been outstanding. Pete's been up and down and struggling with that one when he tries to come over it.
30-15.
Well, Safin broken 17 times in the championship, and Sampras hasn't had one single break point against his serve today. So he has saved his best for the championship thus far.
I just don't like the body language on Pete Sampras at all right now, and he's having to hit an awful lot of shots from the middle of the court. I mean, look at this. Just reacting at this point, not really dictating the points at all against the young Russian player.
Point away from a 5-3 lead, and Safin disagrees with the fault call.
That's when the lineman said, look, I didn't even see it. I just, too good. Play a let. This time, finally, he got that ball nice and low. And this, he'll be all over. The forehand has been lethal in this tournament. He's had some time. Safin still has a point to go up 5-3. That's a huge serve there.
Murat Safin, leading by a set, is now a game away from a 2-set advantage.
Safin leads 5 games to 3.
And Paul Annacone, coach, Pete's coach, told me before the match they're just going to try to get the ball back, and you can see literally that's what Pete's trying to do. It's coming so fast. Almost no time whatsoever to react.
It was 131 miles an hour out wide,
which means, you know, if that had gone up the middle, it would have been about 136, 137.
Wait till he starts serving and volleying. Again, Sampras forced to volley up. As Safin, we were talking about this yesterday, John, trying to think of young Russian players of the past who tried to do what Pete does to serve and volley. And again, look at that. Totally on the D. Serve and volleyer doesn't want to have to make them time and again. The only guy we could think of was Metrovelli 30 years ago, who played at the net. I mean, Chesnikov wasn't like that. Volkov wasn't like that. Kafelnikov certainly doesn't serve and volley.
Well, Safin doesn't either, but if he ever does, boy.
There's another one he has to. He has been absolutely brilliant in putting Sampras in a position where he's not able to get a high ball to volley.
Sampras is going to actually, believe it or not, as we look at Coach Volkov or friend Volkov, to serve and stay back some. I mean, he's going to have to change gears here. This keeps up much longer.
Safin on the second serve points is winning 50% of those.
And that's what we were talking about. The quality of the second serve could decide this match. He's already been busted twice today.
7th ace for Sampras. There, he got the high ball. What a difference. But Murat Safin is still 2 points from a 2-set lead.
Remember, Krajicek was 4-set points for a 2-set lead. Rafter was dangerously close at Wimbledon, so hold on just a minute. Oh.
Sampras couldn't even look.
He couldn't bear to look. Knew that was in the moment that Safin struck it. And Safin's got so much time to debate his options. And
Pete knew that was a set point while it was still in the air.
this match about an hour old. Sampras down a set and set point in the second.
And a double falls. Murat Safin leads Pete Sampras by 2 sets for the championship. Welcome back, Pete Sampras, 4 times the champion, down 2 sets to 20-year-old Murat Safin, who serves an ace to open the 3rd set. Sampras in his 16th Grand Slam final. He's won 13 of them in the 2 losses. He went 4 sets to Edberg and 4 sets to Agassi.
It's almost like he knows right now that Sampras can't hurt him. That's a scary thought for anyone out there that's going to try to play this guy as Safin moves along so quickly with his game developing, his confidence. It's intelligent play out there.
He's making Pete Sampras look slow.
So what do you do, John McEnroe? You're Pete Sampras. You're down 2 sets.
Well, first of all, I'd slow things down, and I'd try to get the crowd into it. I'd show some more emotion. I'd mix up my second serve, stay back a little bit.
The crowd is eager to root for Pete. Again, we're chanting, "Let's go, Pete." And at love, Safin shows that he's all business today. Let's go to Pam Shriver.
Thanks, Dick. I'm with Paul Anacone. Paul, obviously things are not going according to the script. Why not?
This is one of the better tennis matches I've seen a young guy play in the finals. I think Safin's playing a great match. Pete played 1 bad service game, which was the last game of the second set, but the other 2 times he got broken, if you watched points, the guy just returned really well, and Pete hasn't had a lot of chances returning. Safin's come up with big serves when he gets down, so just got to hang in there and see what happens.
And physically, have you noticed anything that seems to be hindering Pete? I mean, is everything okay with him?
No, he's fine. He's just getting outplayed right now, and hopefully he'll stay positive and keep his head screwed on straight and see if Safin can do it for the rest of the match.
Thanks, Paul. Upstairs.
He is getting outplayed in every department. He's getting outserved, outreturned, outgunned, and outrun. This guy doesn't seem to be going away. Normally, Pete tends to give the impression he's always got something in reserve.
See, that's exactly right, Mary. That's what Safin's picked up, that this is it. That if he plays at this level, it's going to be over in a half hour. As Paul said, can he do it for another 20, 30 minutes?
And digging a hole early in this 3rd set, love 30. Pete has come back from 2 sets down 5 times, including this year in the 3rd round of the Australian Open against Wayne Black. But young Safin has never blown a 2-set lead either. U.S. Open tennis coverage is being simulcast in HD TV, made possible by Mitsubishi, the big screen company.
Look at that.
The clinic.
When's the last time you've seen Sampras sort of slouch the shoulders and have that look that you saw to some extent early in his career? I mean, Safin, once again, all over this.
Safin's won 58% of his second serve points. Sampras only 43%, and that's one of the strengths of his game, that second serve.
If Safin were to lose this, he'll remember this point right here, because this was another one where, to me, knowing that Pete's fatigued out there, why bother hitting it back to him? I mean, he's going to stay in one place. He's shown that throughout this match. And hit it right back, allowed Pete to get back in the point and win it. It's still down 15-40. So much for that there.
John, this just isn't how Pete Sampras tends to look in a major final. I mean, these fans must be very surprised that he just looks a little sleepy out there.
It's tired, Mary. He played a tough match with Hewitt yesterday. He's played a lot of tennis. Safin is fresh as a daisy out there.
Fourth time Safin's broken Sampras, and as we pointed out earlier, Sampras has won every Grand Slam final where he has allowed 2 breaks or less, but he allowed 5 to Agassi in Australia when he lost in '95, and against Edberg here in '92 he was broken 4 times.
And by the way, so far this is an absolutely awesome exhibition by Safin. Unbelievable. Since we've seen that.
That is Sampras's 26th winner against 24 for Safin. But Safin has committed in the entire match only 7 unforced errors. 7.
This is a man, Marat Safin, who had to call the transportation desk here at the U.S. Open 3 times yesterday to get a car. They didn't know his name. They didn't know who he was. They had to ask for his spelling.
The whole world will know who this man is the way this is going very shortly. Nothing's happened to discourage him. Everything's all positive. There, a rare error, only his 8th. At least for the fans pulling for Sampras, a little hope he's got him to 30 all.
Only a point away from break point.
That's how some are thinking. Yep. Ooh, just did nick the top of the court.
Sampras was ready to walk to the that long walk over to the other side when you've been aced.
The open court for the forehand and miss hit.
Well, it was somewhat open. I mean, because he was coming back and getting position in a hurry. And that's what Pete saw. I mean, that even though he was outside the court, it didn't look like he was going to be able to come up with that win. How could he not be pressing right now the way Safin's playing?
Survives another rally, walks away with a win. 3-love in the third, up 2 sets. Safin since struggles through April has played top-level tennis. As we mentioned, the hottest player on the circuit this summer, 18-2, coming into this championship match.
This is a man who, in the first months of the year 2000, was rethinking his life as a professional tennis player.
You want to hear first round of Sydney to Lubitschek. First round of Australian with Grand Stafford, where he was the only guy in history to get fined for not trying. Now, first round in Marseille, first round Rotterdam, first round London, a couple wins in Copenhagen, second round Indian Wells, first round Miami, first round Monte Carlo. Then he gets in touch with Andrei Chesnikov. Suddenly, Andrei, says, you better take this a little more seriously. Wins Barcelona, wins Mallorca. The rest is history.
Oh, he missed the backhand that he's been making throughout this match.
And he started winning on hard courts, winning the Canadian Open, finals of Indy. Starting to think out there. You know, you don't have to hit a hole in every ball. Chesnikov, by the way, was offered the job as coaching him, but has a couple kids and a family, didn't want to travel all the time, which is why Volkov is here at this tournament.
But when I had lunch with Volkov and Safin, he wouldn't introduce him as the coach. He says, just good friend, only good friend.
It's not what you call a ringing endorsement as a coach.
Look at this. So after such a generous squandering of his talents, he's now just a couple of games away from winning his first major. I mean, we saw him play like this against Todd Martin yesterday, but we all knew how tired Todd was. But this is Pete Sampras. One day later, a big, strong guy. This is like watching back-to-back Sequoias go down.
This is like Rocky V. I call him the Ivan Drago of tennis. He's a machine out there right now.
30 all, love 3, third set. And a double fall, way off the mark.
The best part, though, is that he's a machine with personality. He's got a lot of personality, Safin. And he's got the match on his racket right now. If he wins this point, hard to imagine he could lose from that position.
The big column was the first column. Safin has not even been close to a break point on his serve.
Safin looking to put this away, and he knows that this was pretty much over. He's in a very, very good position, by the way, anyway, but doesn't want to get that tension. Sorry, he don't want to get that tension flowing through his body, Dick. Weird things happen.
Sampras taking his time now, a little more time between serves.
He's got to do that. He's got to let those crowd utilize that crowd energy the way Todd Martin has done so well the past couple of years.
Well, he's on the board in this third set. It's 3-1.
Safin leads 3-1.
Safin has won 88% of his first serves and 59% second serves.
He's just got to get that ball a little deeper, because this has been too easy for Safin. When he's got that much time, he's been on the mark consistently.
Left. First serve.
Safin has served 43 times over 120 miles an hour today. That was 128 into the net.
Got to cut out the unforced errors right now. I mean, he just can't allow Safin to win points that easily. He's being bombarded. This is what he usually does to his opponents.
Caught the sideline. Another race, his 11th.
John, I was in one of the elevators that you need a pass, you know, to get up into this stadium. I had a pass, and this woman was trying to block people to come in. You know, they were trying to get up into the suite section. She said, I've been getting bombarded all day long. A New York word, but that's what Sampras is getting bombarded.
Another race. 12 now for Safin. We'll be back after this word from your local station. The truth is, he's 2 games away from losing in straights. He's won only 8 games in the match. Oh.
right now. This is going too far. Not only does he hit the great return, which we've seen plenty of in this match, but in he comes, takes it in the air. Excellent technique with Safin up love 15. That's misleading.
But the stat that tells the story is Murat Safin in almost three full sets has committed only 8 errors. He's passed Sampras 14 times. Sampras has made 10 backhand errors. And he's only 52% at the net today, Sampras. And there's a rare time since the very first 2 games that he's had an easy service winner. Since 1881, the national championship. It has honored some great young players, and the youngest of all is the man in the far court, Pete Sampras, just passed his 19th birthday when he won here in 1990.
He cannot believe he can't even get to the service line to hit volleys. Amazed at how fast the return's coming back, how early Safin's seen it. How much pace on his shots, his variety of his ground strokes. Oh, man.
120-mile-an-hour serve, and he cracks a line drive winner.
About the same pace coming back. And there, it's just a short backswing, taking Sampras' pace and just blowing it by him.
In case you're wondering, Sampras has lost a U.S. Open match in straight sets, but it was way back in 1991. Jim Courier in the quarterfinals, 6-2, 7-6, 7-6. But that was somewhat of a battle. This one has not been. It's been all Safin.
That's
on the line.
I mean, he served at 64%. That's good for Pete in a match of this magnitude. He's only won 38% when he's got his second serve, and that's unusual because he's got the biggest second serve in the game. Safin with the second break point of this game.
Go 5-1. Just walking, looking up at the crowd as if to say, I got to think of something here.
Well, his first couple of service games, remember how big his serve was? Just like that. I mean, really pumping him in there and holding easily. Perhaps he's too weary to really come up with that kind of stuff, serve after serve. Maybe that's why it's been attacked so much.
Exhaustion in the legs, not able to power up into that.
Yeah, you certainly lose a couple miles per hour, good 5 to 7, which is definitely what's happened. Once again, point out Safin has had an outstanding day so far. Pete's hope is that he tenses up here in the next 1 or 2 service game and he gets that second win.
For 2, Safin up 2 sets. Players who won their first Grand Slam here: Arthur Ashe in '68, Stan Smith, Nastase, Orantes, McEnroe, Sampras, and Rafter. And 20-year-old Murat Safin, should he win today, will be the 3rd youngest, age 20. Making no mistakes.
Sampras knows he's got to put a little bit more on that approach. That's easier said than done with that nasty spin that Safin throws at you. There's Safin getting tight. Credit Pete with his ability to take quick advantage. He miss hit, steps in, hits the winner.
Six points from victory, Murat Safin. Against a man of such high caliber, Pete Sampras. In this arena, only 8 unforced errors. There's the 9th. This crowd hoping for more, cheers 30-all.
This is it. This return. This is the moment for Sampras to stay in the match. Look at that. A very neat return off a 90-mile-an-hour second serve. Didn't get out of his own way to carve into this and make something happen off the backhand return. Look at this. And that's your moment.
A game away from the U.S. Open title. Part of the excitement of covering major events such as this one is to see the new names, the future of a sport, march through and appreciate what they bring. This is one. Murat Safin, a game away from beating Pete Sampras and earning the U.S. Open championship.
10 years ago it was Pete winning his first major.
A very young 19-year-old Pete Sampras, the youngest ever to win this title.
He looks a lot older out there today. I mean, we've seen pooped Petes before, but usually you see more fight. I mean, he's got more to give against Croatia, you know, even against Rafter in the final, watching him limp through his Wimbledon wins this year.
One thing is Safin has tightened up some. He didn't get a lot of first serves in the last game. His feet aren't moving right now, and you know he's going to be one nervous fellow trying to serve this one out. So.
And that's what Sampras right now, that's his job, to hold serve here so that he forces Murat in that position. .30 love. 2-5. Another Safin return at the feet of Sampras.
Seems routine. Unbelievable how many times we've seen it this match. It helps when you're 6'4", though. That ball that kicks up and may hurt other players is right in his zone. Likes to hit shots from that area.
Just wide, Sampras holds, and now the moment for Murat Safin to serve for this Grand Slam championship.
Safin leads 5 games to 3.
Grew up in Moscow. Limited opportunity in terms of rackets equipment. Taught by his mother. Moved to Spain as a young teenager. Trained there. Sponsor from Switzerland helping him along. Emerged at Roland Garros 2 years ago. Beat Agassi, beat Curtin.
Let. Second serve.
Considered retiring this year. Well, little tight there.
11-15.
He just cannot yet muster up enough depth on these second serve approaches. And that is going to be sitting duck there for Safin. Still not getting any first serves in, though.
Again, too much time for Safin.
13-15.
2 points from victory. Sampras electing not to charge in that time, to stay back.
He knows Safin is tightening up, though, as we speak. If he can just muster up a little energy here. Nothing's going in right now. No first serves.
Break point of the match for Sampras. He's got guts, doesn't he?
Little Venus Williams here, the swinging volley. Take it high, take it early. You see Safin scrambling. He's got this one lined up. High point of the net. Just clips the tape.
Second chance for Sampras to get back on serve here in the third set.
Let. Listen.
I'll tell you, he had a lot of zip on that overhead. Man, that was a hard overhead.
He's done some second unit serving in this game, but everything else, Sean, has held up for him.
time he struck that serve from that position. Match point.
Marat Safin is the 2000 U.S. Open champion. These are the small contingent of Russian friends here with Marat Safin. And he battled through that last set and that last game. The entire arena, they were cheering for Sampras. These were his people, and he immediately goes to them to embrace this tremendous victory and effort. At just age 20, how good will this man eventually be? Think about it, 10 years ago it was 19-year-old Sampras, and look what he became. And now at 20, Marat Safin, and the whole tennis world lies ahead. The poster boy looks in a big man's game. I love New York. We'll be back with more from the U.S. Open in a moment, but first here's Bill McAtee with a look at two of the new faces in tennis.
These new faces are also new champions. Amelia Salerni won the junior girls title, and Andy Roddick is the boys champion.
Mass Mutual Financial Group is indeed very proud to be the sponsor of the U.S. Open Junior Tennis Championships for the 7th consecutive year. This year, Mass Mutual is proud to present the U.S. Open Girls Championship Trophy to Amelia Salerni. And this year's Boys Championship Trophy, it is a great honor for Mass Mutual to present it to Andy Roddick.
Safin in only 12 mistakes, and Sampras 32-25 numbers. Just an ordinary day for a tired four-time champion. It all leads up to straight sets, 6-4, 6-3, 6-3, and on match point, his 10th backhand winner. Safin emerging from the young hopefuls in this game to a star to be applauded here in New York and to be loved by the few that came with him and have supported him throughout. Oh my. And now for the trophy ceremony, let's go to two-time U.S. Open champion Tony Trabert.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a wonderful hand of applause for two tremendous champions. It is my pleasure to introduce Judy Levering, the President of the United States Tennis Association. Judy.
The USTA wants to thank all of you fans for the past 2 weeks. You've created a buzz on this National Tennis Center that was so positive for the sport of tennis. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judy. And now it's a pleasure to introduce the President of Lincoln, Mr. Mark Hutchins, who will present a check to our runner-up, Pete Sampras. Mark?
Thank you, Tony. Well, it's been an incredible 2 weeks, an incredible tennis tournament with incredible friends. So on behalf of Lincoln, all of our dealers, all of our employees, and all of our suppliers, it's a thrill to be the sponsor of the men's singles championship and to be part of the greatest tennis tournament in the world. Tony, we've seen some exceptional tennis in these past 2 weeks, and Pete Sampras' game has certainly been part of it. What a great champion. Pete, it's my honor to present a check for $425,000 to you. Congratulations.
And Judy, I think you have a trophy for our runner-up.
Pete, it doesn't matter what kind of trophy we award to you. The tennis world appreciates all you've done and the level to which you've brought this game. Congratulations.
Pete, you ran into a buzzsaw today, someone that played some of the greatest tennis we've ever seen.
He certainly did. I give him all the credit in the world. He played so well, and everything I tried, he had an answer to. He reminded me, you know, when I was 19, when I came here and won here for the first time, and but I'm sorry to these folks. I didn't get more of a match. I was trying my hardest, but. But Marid, he was too good. Anytime you can serve 130 mile an hour on the line, there's not much you can do. And he passed and returned my serve as well as anyone I've ever played. So all credit to him.
Well, congratulations on a fabulous tournament. Mark, I think you have a check for our champion.
Well, it was an incredible match. And you know, Murat, there's 2 rookies out here this year. This is the first year for Lincoln, and I know it's your first year. And I want to present the winner's check, the champion's check to you, $800,000.
Murat, congratulations. Have you ever played better tennis than you did today?
No, never in my life, and I don't know how it was. I don't even remember. I only remember the last game. I was very nervous. I couldn't move on the court, but but I was lucky. In the end, I served very well, and I'm a winner. Thanks a lot. Thanks to God.
You certainly are a winner. How did you return Pete's serve so well?
You think I am no? I don't know.
All right, Murat, with that, congratulations.
Can I say thank you to my friends?
He wants to thank some of his friends. Murat?
Thanks a lot to Alexander, for my big family from Adidas, my manager, both of them. And thanks a lot to the people who come here to support me during 2 weeks. Thanks a lot. And especially I would like to say thank you to my family, because they pushed me to play tennis. So thanks a lot to them.
Congratulations. Judy, you have a lovely trophy to present to our champion.
I do, and it is a pleasure to present it as a reward to that high level of tennis that was played today. Everyone, the new 2000 U.S. Open men's singles champion, Marat Safin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2000 U.S. Open men's singles champion, Marat Safin.
An exciting young champion. And a charming one as well. We'll be back with more from the U.S. Open after this word from your local station. A battle of S's and Safin and Sampras, and stunning and sensational, this young Muscovite in straight sets. Aerial coverage of the 2000 U.S. Open Tennis Championships provided by the WinStar Airship Broadband One and Office.com, a service from WinStar. Well, let's get firsthand from the four-time champion Sampras. What happened, Pam?
Thanks, Dick. With a very gracious Pete Sampras is being very patient here. Pete, you've never played against a guy in a major final who came out like that, except maybe yourself when you were 19. What do you think? Why do you think he was able to produce his best stuff today?
I'm trying to figure that out. I really didn't. I didn't have my game today, but I give all credit to him. He played so well and served big, and he came out here swinging away. Wasn't intimidated by the final of the Grand Slam, and he's a champion. I mean, he's going to be in this environment for many, many years. He's got the game. He's a great player, and he's young, and he's going to get better and better. When you realized that he was on today, what was going through your head to try and change up the pattern and the rhythm that he obviously had? I was trying to mix up my serve a little bit, going to the body. That didn't seem to work. I was trying to chip and charge a little bit. That didn't seem to work. And when I was staying back, I was missing a little bit from the backcourt. It was a little bit breezy down here, but everything I tried, it didn't seem to work. And he came out here and played a great match. I mean, all credit to him. He really did. It's still been a very special summer with Wimbledon breaking the record. I mean, do you look back now in the year and say it was a great year, a good year, or what do you think? I mean, anytime you can win a Grand Slam, it's a great year. I'm happy what happened there. It broke the record finally. Came up short here, but I had a good 2 weeks. You know, I can look at what happened last Wednesday when I was playing Krajicek. You know, match I might have lost, but it's good to be in the final. Obviously, when you get here, you want to win, but I came up a little bit short. Pete, thanks so much for taking the time. Dick?
All right, Pam, we'll have an NFL report with all the scores of this second week of the NFL season, so stay with us. We'll be back with more from the U.S. Open in a moment. But first, here's a look at why this is a special day in U.S. Open history.
This date in U.S. Open history. Sponsored by Agilent Technologies.
In a rematch of the 1990 men's final, Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras squared off again for the title in 1995. Third set, Agassi broke Sampras to take the set. But in the end, Pistol Pete served Agassi out, his ace on match point, capping a third U.S. Open crown. That was September 10th, 1995. Out there to the west is Broadway, and tennis has a new leading man in New York, Marat Safin, age 20. For complete U.S. Open tennis coverage, including live scoring and in-depth wrap-up of the tournament, click on tennis at cbs.sportsline.com or America Online. Keyword CBS Sportsline. It's on the marquee. Champion U.S. Open, Marat Safin, and he's with Pam Shriver.
Thanks, Dick. We're just sort of chilling out down here with a 2000 U.S. Open men's champion. Marat, how important was it for you to mentally stay so strong during the entire match?
Actually, I had nothing to lose. I went to the court just to play my game. If I would win, I knew if I would win, it would be great. If I lose, I'm not losing a lot. So I just had to play my game. I was trying to hold my serve, try to risk a little bit on the return. And I just made it until the end when he started to push me on my last game, on my service game. I was very nervous. I couldn't even walk. I was completely red. I was sweating twice more than normal, and I didn't know what to do. So, but I was lucky. I played with a lot of decision. I made the right decisions, and I make it right.
Murat, I know you were looking at my watch wondering about your flight tonight, and that's sort of the big next activity. You're getting out of here, huh? Where are you going?
I have to go to Moscow because I play next week. I play a tournament with my friends, big friends, and managers also. So it's going to be in Tashkent. So I have to take a flight as soon as possible to go there.
Well, make sure you celebrate some on the flight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back inside to Bill McAtee.
All right, Pam, thank you very much. And how far Murat Safin has come in 8 months from being the only player ever fined for lack of effort at a Grand Slam, the first Grand Slam of the year, the Australian Open, to the champion of the last Grand Slam of the year, the U.S. Open. It was an amazing run for Murat Safin.
It really was, Bill, unbelievable. And when you think about what Pete Sampras said after the match, he said, it reminds me of myself 10 years ago when he walked all over Andre Agassi in the final. And what Agassi said after that match was, that was an old-fashioned street mugging. And this is obviously how Pete Sampras felt today. Here's a guy, Murat Safin, who comes out with all the weapons, all the firepower, and he just blew Pete Sampras away. But more than that, he did it with his foot speed. In fact, we're going to look at the Charles Schwab Analyst Center right now and show you just how that happened, Bill. Yes, he had more winners. Yes, he had more aces. But look at the foot speed. Safin in the blue, Sampras in the red. And Safin actually came down, as he said, he got nervous in that third set. But Sampras was never able to really rise up and challenge Murat Safin.